Hi, my name's Devon. I've been married for 25 years and I have a family of 6. As an individual entrepreneur, my company has been on the Inc. 5000 list more than just about anybody in this country. I do want you to know, I don't know the easy way in anything. I only know the hard way. All right, let's start. I want to talk to you about the logistics and realities of getting started to pursue your dreams. Now that's a mouthful, but I think the beginning phases of starting anything is very, very difficult. It's always the hardest part. I'm not even talking about just the first 2 years. I'm talking about the very beginning, the logistics of everything. Because if you're going to start a business, you've got to do things that you hadn't even thought about, like, oh, do I need a different bank account? Yeah. How do I get a different bank account? Well, first off, you have to have a company name. Well, how do I get a company name? Make one up. What do I do with it? You got to file it. You got to put it as a DBA. You got to submit it to the state. Well, then what do I do? Well, then you have to get a business license. And then what do you do? Now you have to do all that so that you can walk down to the bank so that you can open up a bank account. That's just to open a bank account, right? And so the beginning of pursuing your dream is always where it's very difficult and time consuming and costly, and people just don't know. I'll never forget, there was a story where I was advising one of my friends and he's like, hey, I'm thinking about hiring someone. And I was like, he kind of told me everything. I'm like, yeah, I think it's time to hire someone. You should do it. And he goes, well, how do I do that? I said, well, get an account on LinkedIn. How do I do that, right? I said, well, get an account, right? And he gets an account on LinkedIn. And he realized, like, I don't even have an application. What's going to happen when this person comes in? How do they even fill out an application? I don't have an application, right? And so there's all of these little nuances and things that when you're getting started, you just don't have, you don't know, and they are intimidating and scary. So you've got to know going into starting anything. The other example I'd give is like college. Like, oh, I want to go to college. I can do it. I'm smart enough and I'm determined. I've got some money saved up and I'm going to go for it. How do I get in? Which college should I get in? How do I fill out a form? What's a financial aid form? How do I fill that out? What's my major? When do I start classes? How do I pick classes? All of these different things are very, very, very intimidating getting forward. But you will find that if you take one step forward and you keep moving forward and forward and forward and forward, you're going to get there. But I want you to understand going into it that those first few months are the hardest, right? Those first few months are going to be challenging, and you're going to think, well, geez, I started a company. All I need to do is go out there and mow those lawns and I've got a company. Well, you're going to find that the first few months that you're going to spend half of your time probably working on doing the work of the business, and the other half of your time working on the business, just getting it started, working on your dream, just getting started on your dream. So you're going to find that going to college is more than just showing up to class and taking classes, right? There's tons of behind the scenes work that you need to understand, know, and be prepared for. Not be intimidated by, but be prepared for and be courageous and go after. Listen, it's a little scary, I know, it's a hard way, but it works.